Hey, what's up? My name's Ercy and welcome to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be talking about the books I plan on reading in the month of March. So I have two rollovers from last month because it's been a busy month. And so the first book, or the book that I'm currently reading right now, is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline from Crown Publishing. In case you didn't know, is about Wade Watts and his quest towards acquiring the Easter eggs in the virtual reality game called The Oasis. And if he is able to acquire those Easter eggs, he's able to get ownership of the Oasis because the previous owner, James Halliday, he passed away. And he left this quest for people to try to obtain ownership of the Oasis. It's really cool because it's going through a lot of 80s pop culture references, and it talks about like video games and movies and music and tons of pop culture, and really fun. And on top of it being like this quest towards acquiring something so huge, and it's quite an adventure. And so this is a really fun book. I'm having fun with it now. I listened to it before in audio, and this is the first time I'm reading it with a physical book. I'm just having a lot of fun with this, and I'm kind of taking my time so that way I can kind of go through all the references and stuff as much as I can. I'm not going to go through everything because it's a lot, but it's a lot of fun so far, and I'm having a really good time with this. So that's Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. The second rollover, I won't take too much on this, is the DaVinci Code. I still haven't read this, by Dan Brown, and this is from Doubleday Books. And so this is just the sequel or the follow-up or the second novel in the Robert Langdon series, where he is a Harvard symbologist, and I'm sure they're going to be referencing works by Leonardo da Vinci in this book. So I don't know much about it, but I think it's still going to be in that category of it being like a thriller, a mystery, trying to solve the problem or solve the crime. So I'm really looking forward to reading this, but I'm going to finish Ready Player One first and then hop into this guy. So that's the DaVinci Code by Dan Brown. The last physical book that I want to talk about is Atomic Love by Jennie Fields. I got this book from Book of the Month. I hadn't heard anything about it, but when I saw this book in the lineup, I had to get it because A, the cover is beautiful, and B, it sounds really good. So this is like a historical fiction romance, I believe, and this book follows our main character, Rosalind Porter, and she is a physicist working on the Manhattan Project, which, in case you didn't know, was the project that helped develop the atomic bomb. And she works on this with her colleague. His name is Thomas, and they're in love, and they're working on this crazy project together. The project ends, he leaves, I believe, and so years later she's contacted by the FBI to try to track him down because they believe he is passing on secrets to the Russians. I think this is going to be sort of like a love triangle because she's going to be kind of revisiting her past love, and I think she's kind of falling or developing feelings for the FBI agent. So it's kind of like a love triangle with historical references and this sort of secret spy double agent feel towards it. I'm still really excited to read this, so hopefully I can get to it this month. I've been seeing it, I keep looking at it on my shelf, and I'm like, I want to read you, I want to read you, I want to read you, and I haven't gotten to it. Yes, hopefully I can this month. And again, this cover is everything. It's so pretty. Alright, so that's Atomic Love by Jennie Fields from Putnam Books. I'm going to talk about 3 audiobooks that I plan on listening to this month. And the one that I'm currently listening to is Such a Fun Age by Reid. And this is from Penguin Random House Audio Publishing Group. And this book follows Amira Tucker, and she is a Black woman babysitter, and she babysits for this white affluent family. And they call her to take care of the child around 10 o'clock at night. And so she takes the child, takes her to the grocery store to kind of walk around while they're handling an issue in the house. Someone accuses her of kidnapping the child because it's a little white girl with this Black woman. The book kind of follows the events that happen from this incident of this accusal of kidnapping a child that she's babysitting, which is ridiculous. So this is my current read, and that's like the scene in the beginning, and me listening to that scene just enraged me so much, and I'm excited to get to the rest of the book because I want to see what happens. It's just one of those things where it's super relevant to things that we see in the news and in the media and everything. Yeah, that's the one I'm listening to right now. So that's Such a Fun Age by Kiley Reid. The next book that I wanted to listen to is Mallory by Josh Malerman, and this is from Penguin Random House, and this is the sequel or the follow-up to Bird Box. And I listened to the first Bird Box, and it differs a little bit from the movie, but it's pretty much the same thing, where you have these creatures, the same at the moment that you look at them, or the moment you look at these creatures, you want to like murder yourself or kill yourself. And so the only way to escape was to blindfold yourself. At the end of the movie, spoiler alert, or at the end of the book, she winds up retreating to this sanctuary. I won't say much, but she retreats to the sanctuary with the two kids. And so I believe this book, Mallory, picks up about like 2 years after the events from that book. So I believe it's just going to be following the same thing. I'm assuming if it's going to be a whole book, something happens at the sanctuary and they have to go back out into the world. I don't know how it's going to be. I heard mixed reviews from this book, but I feel like I listened to the first one. I have to finish it out because the first one was really good. Bird Box is really good, but I'm going to listen to this next one and see how it goes. So yes, that's Josh Malerman's Mallory. And the last book that I want to talk about, and this is like the wild card. This is the most random book that I have decided that I'm going to listen to. And that's Ice Planet Barbarians by Ruby Dixon. Now this one I saw on a video from Q and TG, and they were roasting this book hard. So essentially this book is about these women being taken as like slaves by these aliens or something, and the way that they were just talking about this book made me laugh, and I was like, I gotta read this for myself and see why it's so funny. Yeah, I think that's all I really know is just these women being taken as slaves by these aliens. So I don't know. I think it just sounds really ridiculous. I'm excited to get to it, but not really. You know what I mean? So this is kind of just like a filler, just to laugh. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. But yeah, that's it. So that's all the books I have planned so far to read for the month of March. If you plan on reading any of these, let me know. Or if you have read any of these, let me know what you think. That's sort of what's on my radar this month. And I'm really looking forward to all the choices that I made. I hope you guys consider subscribing to this channel, and I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!